Yeah, what happened to you is a great thing.
Yes. Well, hell yeah. And also, that's the other reason it's a goddamn great thing. It's exactly like the same reason it's a great thing what happened to you. I caught it. If I'd ignored it, it would have gotten so much worse. That's the main thing. Is it's the opposite of tragedy. It's like, identifying a threat and getting rid of it before it gets worse. In the same way, what happened to you is the opposite of tragedy. You learn from this. It's wisdom. And if I think the media is partially responsible for people thinking that wisdom and truth comes in this very digestible, masticated vomit where everything balances out and makes sense.
Right.
But that's not how it works at all. Truth doesn't come like that. Truth is when the phone rings in the middle of the night and your mom died. Truth is truth is when the cancer comes. Truth is when your child gets shot at a daycare center. Truth is when you're in Syria and your parents get blown up. Truth is when you lose someone that you love because you took them for granted and were an asshole. There's so many different versions of truth. And it's not always going to come in a nursery rhyme.
Okay, so how does somebody prepare for that? How does somebody cope with that? Or do you don't you? Or is it a fight or flight kind of thing? Because, yeah, definitely what you went through was a real truth. So everything else you mentioned, how do you deal with that? How do you deal with, a passing of a close one? Or how do you deal with a breakup? Or how do you deal with a negative deal?
Love. That's it. It sounds like such hippy-dippy shit, man.
It does.
But the most important, the greatest feeling there is love. And that there's no better thing. When you're in love with a person, everything lightens up in your life. Everything becomes beautiful. When you have a friend that you love, when you have a pet that you love, when you love your family, anytime you can let yourself experience love, then that is also truth. And so the more you can open yourself up to that, when these events happen, you can come to them as much as you can from a place of love, having love in your life. It's just so cheesy, but God, that's really all it is.
That is something that, a lot of people ask me, Brody, have you loved anything? Obviously, I love my mother. It's a genetic love, and I do love her. And I feel like the older I've gotten, I've become closer, and the love has increased. I love Daisy, our little dog.
Yes.
I'm beginning to love my sister. I hate to say that, beginning to love her, but I feel like I don't have that strong love gene to love things. Maybe I'm a late bloomer. Maybe I'm afraid. And I know love matters. But I tell you what, in the meantime, I love my friends.
Oh, yeah.
I love my Twitter followers. I have 40,000 friends on Twitter. If I have something that is bothering me or something that's bringing me down, I can go on Twitter. And this is the great thing about technology, and say, hey, guys, I'm down, or this happened. And people would pick me up. I have that. So I love that. But yeah, to love a person, to be in love, maybe I'm afraid. Maybe
it's scary.
It's scary to love something.
Yeah,
because you're gonna eventually, that love is gonna be lost.
Well, even before that, you have to let go, and you can't be in control. It's a state of letting go and not being in control, and that's scary because you're sort of opening yourself up to this idea, and this is an idea that people have been talking about for thousands and thousands of years in a lot of different ways. But when you start opening yourself up to that idea, then it ends up like causing you to lose a part of yourself that was never real in the first place. In the same way, like when I go and get a cancer diagnosis and experience truth in that way, I'm a new person from now on. Like, okay, well, this is a new me. I'm new now. I've been changed. Am I really new? No, I was always this person, but it created a shift in my subjective mind state that'll never go away. So in the same way, people are afraid of that. People are afraid of changing, of having those shifts happen to them. They don't want to. They want to stay the same way. They like comfort, or they like the pattern that they're in. So love, it'll do the exact same thing. If you really start experiencing with a dog, especially With a dog is God damn, the love you feel for a dog is unlike anything else. It'll change your whole life. The love doesn't care where it's coming from. And in fact, if you're in love with this person, or if you're in love with your friends, or if you're in love with your Twitter followers, or if you love your mom, or if you love your dog, then what's really happening is that you're using these symbols to allow yourself to open your heart. But it's not like they're the hypodermic needle filled with love injecting it into you. They're just causing the part of yourself that is love to resonate. And that's the thing people forget, which is why people get very possessive of their girlfriends or their friends or whatever, because love is such a great feeling that when it comes to you and you're lucky enough to feel it, you want to try to put a barbed wire around the thing that you think is the source of it.
Yeah.
Because you've forgotten that it's inside of you.